What I love about summer leadership is all of the new members and new FACS teachers and new people that are introduced into FCCLA, and just seeing the beginning stages, which are often the most challenging and rewarding, of groups coming together. So FCCLA's Groovy Situation happened on July 27th to the 29th of 2015. We started off with the opening session, which I think I slightly mixed, but I did get some of the mixer activities, and I did see the Leadership Academy training team where we practiced the mission statement.
Our mission is to promote personal growth and leadership development through family and consumer sciences education.
FCCLA is the ultimate leadership experience!
Then we had individual groups afterward. Practicing FCCLA's process in terms of installation and the creed and the mission, they're all really core central to all the values of the organization, so seeing students learn that for the first time and sort of grasp what FCCLA is all about is some of the core actions and events that happen in summer leadership. Then we had individual groups. The alumni chose Mamma Mia as their decision for the lip sync. Then we went to Connor's workshop on parliamentary procedure. He is our FFA representative, and he showed us the steps that keeps business meetings running smoothly. Colin wanted to take pictures and mess with my brand new camera.
Say cheese.
I hopped around for individual groups and saw groups planning their events throughout the conference and things to take back to their chapters in order to prepare them for the upcoming year. I went to CCR 100 and time management, which is part of the Leadership Academy team training, and I think I stopped over to membership. Groups decorated their daisies with the names of people on each of the petals, which was fun. We also got to colorfully and wonderfully decorate our pet rocks. Here it is, actually, I got it right here. There were some really colorful and creative ones, and cartoonish ones, and just adorable pet rocks, so here's some of that. Then we had dinner out on the patio before Mr. Chris's game.
Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, it's about learning to dance in the rain. Vivian Green.
And stick with the theme of FCCLA at the table, which is keeping families together and keeping the tradition alive of conversing and talking about the day and having genuine, interested conversations, really keeping families engaged with one another. Thought and prayer in whatever form you have when you have dinner with your family. My favorite things is being behind the camera and not being seen by everybody that's having a good time, so I captured some of the moments on the patio by the river with people talking and smiling and just having a good time and answering the discussion questions, which were placed in the center of the table at each one. I definitely enjoyed that approach. Some individual group game time turned into a bunch of team building activities, such as clapping around in a circle. There was ninja.
Quick move.
If it's There was also get 5 high fives from people and run around and touch 3 walls in the room. Yourself. And before Mr. Chris's game, I actually got pictures of people taking pictures of people, or selfies, which is always fun. We learned the Gimme 5 dance, which I'm very, very positive a lot of you are familiar with by now. And then we played Match Game, which was hilarious. And I'm pretty sure that brings us to Tuesday, July 28th, the next day. Colin got a hold of my camera again.
Say cheese.
Hang on. We had a presentation by the Binghamton Wolves, and they actually came and talked to us about how they're partnering with FCCLA and able to raise money and fundraise for events, which I think is absolutely fantastic that they work with so many organizations. And then there was student body, right after I thought about how I could have brought fishing equipment because the river was right there. Right by the smallmouth. There was a ping pong ball drop team building activity where you had to build a receptacle so the ping pong ball would get caught when it was dropped by one of the officers. It's amazing what people can do when they set their minds to it and actually use synergy, and 1 + 1 = 3 when you work together. We work makes the team work. Then we played some hot potato water balloon? Water balloon hot potato, should I reverse it?
Down. She tried to pass it!
We had 1.
No, you gotta save the person.
Then we had 2. And people got wet. And then we were chucking water balloons at each other in a giant circle, and I was desperately trying to make sure I did not get my camera soaked. The next team building activity we did was a race between teams to see who could fill up a bucket with enough water up to a specific line on the bucket using a sponge. Pretty intense. These two teams were neck and neck with each other. Then we had individual meetings, and the two workshops for Officership 102 was strategic planning, and conflict resolution was the Lead 205, Leadership Academy team training. One of the great things about workshops is they make things interactive, and you really get to participate in a workshop and write things down and take things back to your chapters. I hope you learned a lot. It looked very, very interactive with me, even just me sitting there taking pictures. I participated in some of them as well. We had a little social media break, took a big group picture to kind of spread the word a bit, and then we actually focused on thinking of planning activities for your chapter in a long-term strain of events, so having a calendar for the entire year. Interspersed mixers and activities gets everybody up out of their chair and puts a new spin on what they're doing. So Hannah actually read the group a story where every time they heard the word left or right in any form, they had to pass. It was a gumball or some sort of candy back and forth.
And Shelly right, and got in the car and left. Oh my God.
And then to continue with the theme, we had a workshop on how to plan a workshop. So students have an idea of how to keep their workshop interactive and move all the participants' eyes and ears and mouth and body and nose and feet. Together we came up with a lot of very, very interesting ideas, and I can probably dive further into that with another video. We compared the pros and the cons of workshops and sort of discussed how to balance elements of a workshop so that the students leave taking away knowledge and having a fun experience as well. And then we went back to individual groups for a while. I went with the alumni and set up for the Hickory's Park Chicken Barbecue, Phil's Chicken, to be precise. And here's a bunch of footage of lip syncs because it was absolutely hilarious. We also saw a train, did the Gimme 5 dance as an entire group out on the grass, had a goofy 3-legged race, and enjoyed the sunset while we either drove or walked back to the hotel. Then they did a workshop on image, importance of looking professional, fun in professionalism. And there was also accountability Lead 301 for the Leadership Academy training with officers and officer-elects. The next workshop for Leadership Academy team training was a more in-depth look at FCCLA at the table, which I explained earlier. Building families, stronger families, one family meal at a time. There was also Mentorship Lead 404, which allowed the junior leaders to sit down with the state officers and learn more about how they plan conferences, how they work together, and how they run New York State's delegation. The state project presentation this year is about student body. It's about the
healthy you, the fit you, the real you, and the resilient you.
We did some more team building activities. We did the human knot.
Where are we going?
We literally had 2 circles.
Yeah, look! And we also went all out on the human table idea.
Alex, come on! Yeah! I'm holding up.
Each district made a white cardboard piece with a peace sign for their district number, and then all these tags tied with string. Yeah, then the state officers did their outreach project presentation, and all the groups did their wrap-ups for the meeting, what they learned, what they created, little summary skit, and then we handed out certificates for everyone at the end of the conference and wished everyone a good journey on their way back home. So yeah, that's just summer leadership. I'm glad I could bring the meeting to you, to give you some ideas, and what we do and what we create, and to bring meetings. It's one of the things I've always wanted to do is bring actual meetings and what we do to chapters. In the description below, I will also have links to the New York State FCCLA website. You can go there and you can actually look at the foundation page. We've set up a PayPal account on there now if you'd like to donate. We're trying to get alumni involved as well. And I'm thinking about doing this for a lot more conferences. Yeah. See you around.